What is up, YouTube? You're watching The Truth Show with me, your host, The Truth. Today we're going to be talking about the 1.4 updates for The Division. Now, just before we get into the video, I would like to apologise to my subscribers. I have been away for quite a while. As some of you may know, I've had a bit of problem with my headsets, and then there was a problem with my internet provider, so I've had a few issues there. But I'm back, I'm doing videos, my live stream's going to be back up again. And basically, this is the first video I'm going to be uploading in like 3 weeks. I do apologise again, guys. I'm very, very sorry. But let's get on with it. We're going to be talking about the 1.4 update. Now, while I've been away, I have been trying to keep tabs on what's going on with the 1.4 update, which we're going to be talking about 2 points basically today. We're going to be talking about suspected release dates for the 1.4 update. Now, as I said, I've been following the Twitter and Reddit streams to try and get information and stuff like that. Now, some of you may or may not know that originally the Division devs originally said that when they're bringing out the update, it's not going to be until after they had released the survival DLC. Now, that was the original plan, what they were going to do. That was from official channels from Ubisoft and stuff like that, which personally, myself, we weren't very happy with. I'm not very happy with that myself. I think that they should have done they should be doing the 1.4 update first. You know, fix the problems before you bring the survival DLC out. You know, because you could bring the survival DLC out, and with not a lot of people playing it due to the current state of the game, you're not going to get a lot of people playing the game, even if you do bring the DLC out. So the 1.4 update must come first. In that respect, on the Twitter and Reddit feeds, there have been rumours that the 1.4 update will be coming this month in October. That's October 2016. Now, there's been a couple of dates that have been thrown around on there. I've read the 17th of October. I've also read on the 28th of October it's going to be coming. Like I said, this is not confirmed. This is just speculation at this point. Personally, I hope that it is true and that we do get the update this month for consoles, because it's going to, you know, give us a reason to get back into the game, which I'm really looking forward to. But like I said, you know, I can't confirm nor deny that information. So the second thing I'm going to be talking about is the PTS servers that are currently running on PC and some of the complaints that have been getting thrown in at the Division developers. And basically I'm going to talk about the people who've been putting these complaints in, and I hope that a lot of you are going to agree with me on this point. But let's get into this now. As you know, the PTS servers have been running the 1.4 version of the game for PC players, you know, as basically a test as what they've done, you know, what's been updated in the game, what's been changed, so that they can get feedback and maybe tweak it so that it's, you know, suitable for most people. Unfortunately, there've been a lot of complaints that have been coming in from players, and some of the complaints, they're very varied, but we'll get into a couple of them. Some of them have been that the enemies are dying too quickly. It's not posing a challenge for a lot of the higher level characters. That enemies are dropping too much loot, which personally I don't find a problem with them dropping too much loot. I think that's actually quite a good thing that enemies are dropping more loot. It gives the lower level characters a better chance, or the lower level players a better chance of, you know, leveling their character up and getting gear that they want and need. But, you know, people are going to complain, always going to complain, because there's going to be some people who aren't going to be happy no matter what you do. But some of the complaints have been coming in that from certain players. Now, what I mean by certain players is that on the PC servers, there's been a lot of, as some of you who play the consoles know, a lot of people who grief other players for no other reason other than the fact just to grief them. Now, these players have been grossly overpowered, or even, as you've seen in some of my videos, Dark Zone level cheats. Who've been, you know, glitching their gear score while in the lower Dark Zone, or are just so grossly overpowered that you've got no chance of standing up to them. A lot of us have had this problem. I know there's a lot of people out there who do have this problem. Now, Originally, this was what the 1.4 update was made to address, that a lot of people weren't getting to the level that they wanted to be. They weren't able to get the gear that they wanted. Stuff and issues like having the ability to do the missions on heroic and challenging was a bit of a pain in the backside, because in order to do missions on heroic, you had to beat the mission on heroic to get the gear you needed to beat it. Which, you know, what the hell? That doesn't make sense at all. But that was the case. During the meeting in Switzerland, the Division developers actually admitted to they had catered the game to the OP players. Now, people who don't believe that, you know, you can go and look at the notes or whatever. It is actually there for everyone to see. They did actually admit to the fact they were catering to the OP players. Now, back to originally what we were talking about, the complaints. Now, a lot of people have complained on the PTS servers. Now, one of the people who have lodged the complaint on the PCS servers, and actually quite a few of the people who've lodged the complaint on the PTS test servers, have been well-known game griefers. Now, I'm going to give you the reason why I think these people are complaining about the drop rate of gear and stuff like that. Now, personally, from my point of view, now you can comment on this whether you think it's right or not. I think these people are complaining about it because they've come to a realization now. The game is going to be at a point soon, when the 1.4 update comes out, that your gear and stuff might have an effect on how powerful you are. But the fact that other people are able to pick gear up quite quickly and level their lower level characters up is going to mean that you're not going to be able to grief other players as much as you were. Which means it's going to be more of an even playing field. And the game, when you're fighting other players and you're in PvP, is going to be based on your actual skill at the game, and not based on the fact of whether you've got, you know, souped up gear or a one-shot shotgun. It's not going to be about that anymore. It's going to be about your skill. And I think that these people who are lodging these complaints about the game are lodging it because they've actually realised that the work they've put in order to make these OP, and let's face it, unfair characters to especially lower level people, because you are going around griefing people. You know who you are, guys, if you're griefing people. But they're coming to a realisation now that it's not going to be the case anymore, and that they're not going to be top dogs in the dark zone anymore. That it's going to actually require them to, you know, play the game and be skillful at the game, and that's why they're upset about it. Personally, coming from the perspective of someone who's really looking forward to this 1.4 update, I'm looking forward to it actually being an even playing field. I'm really excited about this 1.4 update. I'm glad of the changes that, you know, I've heard about and that they've said they're going to make. And I cannot wait to play it and have an even playing field. The ability to stand up against other players without getting one-shotted by a shotgun, or without getting one-shot killed by a sticky bomb or anything like that, you know. Actually having my bullets when I'm shooting people do damage to another player is going to be a refreshing change, and it's going to breathe life into the game. Now, it was the Dark Zone divs who are complaining, basically, the griefers who are complaining about the changes, who originally caused the changes in the first place. Now, they've done it to themselves because they were going around with OP characters and griefing other players. It was forcing the lower level characters out of the game. At one very specific point, the European servers for the game had less than 1,000 people playing at any given time. Now, since the release of the game, that is a very, very low number. So that is what has caused the Division devs to look at it and go, well, we need to change this game so it's more even for everybody. And that's what they've done. And now that they've done that, the people who've originally caused the problem are complaining about it. Guys, you just need to deal with it, okay? Pretty soon the game's going to be required on your skill, okay? And I can't wait to see this 1.4 update. And I hope that a lot of you guys out there who, you know, who've watched my video and stuff like that, you can actually say the same, that you're going to look forward to this update. you know, that it's going to even the playing field for us, and that everyone's going to have a more enjoyable experience playing the game. So that's basically everything I wanted to talk about today. Like before, I do apologise about me not being up for a while. Like I said, you know, internet, headset, all that jazz, but I'm back. I'm going to be doing live streams again really, really soon. I want to thank you for listening to the video if you stuck to the end. Big shout out to the guys who I play the Division with, Clegg, Alcatraz. Big shout out to you guys if you've watched this video. I do apologise if I've rambled on a bit. Thanks for sticking to the end, guys. As always, you know, hit like, hit subscribe. You know, if you want to make comments on the video and you want to, you know, add some points or something about the 1.4 update that you want to talk about, then please feel more than welcome to do so. I welcome all comments. And as always, you've been watching The Truth Show, and I will catch you next time.